When you look back at the last century, many people refer to it as the century of physics. We had things like the atomic bomb, we had nuclear energy, we had space program, all really arising out of physics. This new century is really already being dubbed the century of biology. And I think what we're going to see is the merging of biology with different technologies and engineering approaches that are going to allow us to address a wide range of applications, be it either our energy needs, our health needs, our food needs, our environmental needs. Synthetic biology is a new field that's bringing together engineers and molecular biologists to rewire and reprogram organisms.
It's very natural for an engineer to think about biology and to apply engineering principles to biology. I'm trained as an engineer, and I like to think about building things and what kind of functions you can get out of something that's built.
My work always has been, whether it's been electronics or synthetic biology, about taking rules for how things are composed and using those rules to compose new systems. So what I do as a designer is I sit down and say, okay, I have a biological function I want to realize. We have a collection of biological parts, and how do we compose those parts to realize that functionality?
We recently received support from the Gates Foundation to engineer lactobacillus. These are bacteria that you find in yogurt, such that they have inside them engineered circuits that will respond to two signaling molecules produced by cholera. Those bacteria would now serve as basically cell sentinels. When the bug detects those two signaling molecules, it will begin to produce an antimicrobial peptide to kill off the cholera. We have now these capabilities because we are basically making biology an engineering discipline. The field of synthetic biology very much was launched here at Boston University. Around 1995-96, the Human Genome Project was taking off, and these large parts lists were emerging from these sequencing efforts. We realized that we could take these molecular parts that were being identified and put them together into different DNA-based circuits. We took a forward engineering approach and went ahead and built a genetic switch.
First paper I read was Jim Collins' toggle switch. My advisor showed me, yeah, you can now build circuits in cells, just like similar to these analog circuits that you found in electronics.
This, along with efforts down at Princeton, served basically as the starting point for this exciting new field of synthetic biology. We want to establish Boston University as not simply a national leader in synthetic biology, but an international leader. And just in the last 2 years, we've recruited 3 of the top young folks in this field. Doug Densmore, who's in our electrical engineering department, Khalil, who's now in our BME department. We also have Wong, who's also in our biomedical engineering department.
It's a very complementary group of people, synthetic biology, yet we do very different thing.
I really like the fact that synthetic biology is extremely interdisciplinary.
It's such a multi-potent field because it's touching on so many interesting applications.
So there's a whole bunch of people who look at bioenergy, how to get organisms to produce fuel, bacteria to produce fuel, yeast. Other people are interested in biomaterials, so they say we'd like to produce anti-corrosive kind of biofilms.
For me, I work on trying to engineer T cells to fight cancers. And what you can do is you can take patients' own T cells, genetically modify them, expand them and put them back into patients so that they can fight against cancer better. I always feel like we owe it to the society. I mean, it's important to do basic science, but we have pressing problem also right now that we need to solve.
And because it can touch upon such a broad range of problems, be it energy, health, the environment, or food, it's just so exciting to be able to be here at the beginning of a field where we're really just starting to scratch the surface on its potential to modify these organisms to address problems of real worldwide import.